paralyzed little girl visits shelter. What the abused German Shepherd did next left everyone in tears. She rolled in quietly, barely able to lift her arms. He cowered in the corner, broken and afraid. No one expected them to connect. But what happened between a paralyzed little girl and an abused German Shepherd left the entire shelter staff sobbing. At Bright Paws Animal Shelter in rural Colorado, the days often blurred together. Feeding, cleaning, barking, hopeful adoptions, and heartbreaking goodbyes. In the far back kennel, behind a steel gate and warning signs, lived Bruno, a large German Shepherd with scars across his back and a permanent tremble in his step. He had been found chained in a junkyard, barely alive, abused, starved, and terrified of humans. Since his rescue, he hadn't allowed anyone to touch him. He didn't bark, he didn't play. He just stared at the wall, waiting for something or nothing. One chilly Wednesday morning, dot. The front doorbell jingled. Enrolled 8-year-old Lily Monroe in her pink wheelchair, her mother pushing her gently. Lily had been paralyzed from the waist down since a car accident the year before. Despite her trauma, Lily loved animals, especially dogs. Her doctor had recommended visiting the shelter for emotional healing. But no one was prepared for what would happen that day. As they toured the shelter, Lily waved at the dogs, laughing when one licked her fingers through the gate. But when they reached the end of the row and Bruno's cage came into view, her expression changed. She asked softly, "Who's that one? The sad one?" The staff hesitated. "That's Bruno. He doesn't do well with people." But Lily insisted, "I want to say hi." With concern, her mum wheeled her closer. The staff stayed near just in case. Bruno curled in the back of the cage, opened one eye, and lifted his head. He saw Lily, and for the first time in weeks, he stood up. Slowly, cautiously. Forward, and then another. Shelter workers froze. Bruno stopped inches from the bars and looked at Lily. Lily extended her hand through the gate, her fingers trembling. "It's okay," she whispered. "I won't hurt you." Bruno pressed his scarred head against her hand. Everyone gasped. From that day on, Lily came to visit Bruno every afternoon after school. She would sit by his kennel, reading him books, telling him about her day, sometimes just sitting in silence. Within a week, Bruno was wagging his tail when he heard her wheels on the pavement. He began to eat better, then play, then trust. One afternoon, the shelter staff made a bold decision. Lily, the director, said, "Would you like to go inside his kennel today?" With her mum's approval and Bruno's calm demeanor, they opened the gate. Lily rolled in, and Bruno gently rested his head in her lap. Her mother burst into tears. A month later, the shelter held a special press event about Lily and Bruno's incredible.
Good afternoon, team. Here are the key takeaways from today's budget planning meeting. First, departmental allocations were reviewed, with a focus on aligning resources with projected growth areas. Adjustments were proposed for marketing and operations, increasing their budgets by 5% to support expansion initiatives. Second, cost-saving measures were discussed, including vendor negotiations and process automation, aiming for a 10% reduction in overhead expenses. Lastly, the team set a deadline of next Friday to finalize projections and ensure alignment with company goals. Action items have been assigned, and follow-ups will be scheduled accordingly. Thank you all for your input. Let's keep this process efficient and on track.
Animal experts were amazed. Bruno, once deemed unadoptable, had become an emotional support dog by choice. His own healing rooted in Lily's love. Doctors noticed something else. Lily's posture improved. Her breathing became deeper. Her confidence returned. In 6 months, she took her first steps with braces, something they once thought impossible. And when asked by a local news reporter how she found the strength to keep trying, Lily smiled at Bruno and said, "He stood up for me, so I had to try and stand up for."